Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I'm Conostip and this is going to be part 24 of my early campaign where I'm playing as England. And before we get started, I just wanted to offer a bit of a disclaimer. I am under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit sick here. Pretty low energy over the last couple of days. And my voice and my respiratory is a little bit funky as well. So I'm going to power through it because we have ourselves an episode to record. It's going to be okay though. I think that we're just kind of chilling out. At least I hope so, because if I have to fight any battles, it's going to be kind of challenging, but I will rise to the occasion if it does call for it. I know that in each of the previous episodes, I had also thought that it was going to be pretty chill, but I've had to fight off the Egyptians and the Germans in either of those two episodes. So who knows what's going to happen next year, but I think it's going to be okay. And yeah, we'll see how my voice holds up. Although I feel like when I'm editing videos where I've been sick and I'm like, my voice sounds a little bit better when I'm sick. So maybe, yeah, maybe there's a plus to this as well. It makes it sound a bit, deeper, which always, I don't know, just I don't know, sounds a little bit better. It's kind of like when I smoke a cigarette the night before recording an episode. I don't smoke very often these days. So when I do, it's kind of like an event. And I feel it the next day. I'll smoke one cigarette, and I'll feel that more than I feel the booze that I drank. So it's like one of those things where I'm recording, and I'll feel that one cigarette, and then I'll edit, and I'll go, I don't know. Khan's voice with a cigarette sounds a bit more manly. Sounds a bit better. So there's something to that. I can see why people smoke. I can see why I smoked for 10 plus years. As far as this campaign goes, I'm trying to play City Builder. I'm trying to just chill out and get caught up. And luckily, so there was some really good news in that last episode. The Italians did seek out an alliance, which turned into just a ceasefire when they decided to side with one of their allies. I think it was the Aragonese. They decided to stand by. But that's fine because I got my ceasefire, and that's all I really cared about. Who was it? Yeah, it was the Aragonese that they were like, oh yeah, you're with the Aragonese. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, they attacked me like a million years ago. And I'm pretty sure they fought side by side with the Italians. Is that right? Yeah, am I getting that right? The good news about that is that that opens up just so much trade opportunities for me that I haven't yet taken advantage. I'm working on it. I'm like building boats full steam ahead right now. I do have my caravels that are in the deep sea regions, but I do want to continue to pump out the barks as well and put them in the coastal regions. Now, that's just kind of a self-imposed limitation that I came across in the last campaign that I played as Egypt. I think I did describe this before, but just in case I haven't, I'm thinking about like barks in the coastal regions, like keep my tier 1 boats in each of the coastal regions. Then keeping my tier 3s in the 3 deep sea regions, Eastern or Central Mediterranean, Western Mediterranean, and the Atlantic Ocean. And then my really good boats, keeping them, like when I get to my tier 3 and tier 4s, keep them in regions that are bordering my land provinces. Kind of like they're like a defensive fleet that is they're for defending my home territories. But they can be sent out in the case of a war, they can be sent out to engage in an open war, but they're not positioned like that. And that's just kind of a self-imposed, I don't know, house rule that I sort of came across. I made it up myself. And it's hard to do, it's like in the beginning, because as we saw in this campaign and probably every campaign that I've played, when you do just start off by putting just one boat in each province, when you just have your tier 1s, eventually someone's going to get a little bit ornery and they're going to think, hey, I can mess with that guy. And they're going to see that as an opportunity and they're going to start an entire ass war just by attacking one of my boats with, say they have 2. They have 2 in a sea region and I have 1 and they're like, let's start a war over that. And it's like, oh, fucking hey. So the safe way of doing it, the safe and slow way of doing it is to just build up 2 boats at a time, have only go to a new region when you have 2 boats. That's the safe way to do it. It doesn't guarantee, because if they have 3 boats, they might still think, let's mess with this guy. But it's just less of a chance of that happening, right? So yeah, it's tough. You can't, in the early game, you're like, you can't wait for that. You need to spread out. You need to make your money. because you're spending that money on those boats and on that upkeep. So you need to make it back. You know, you need to reach out for these sea regions that have multiple ports in them and make your money off of them. And that's going to, you know, call for being spread out pretty thin. So there's this real give and take in the early game with using your navies. But I think that, you know, when you get to the mid and late game, I think that it is fine, I think, to sort of dial back and to try to impose some sort of limitations, at least for me. I like this because the thing is that you can just afford so much, and you can just afford all the armies in the world and all the boats in the world, as long as you just have, like, I don't know. I don't know. It seems like as soon as you get your trade up, you can get your trading post buildings built up and have like a decent chunk of provinces that have trade goods. It seems like you're good, you know, in this game. So it felt nice and kind of flavorful for me to sort of dial back a little bit. But I waited till way late in the late game before I finally did that and played around with it. And by then there was no one else that could oppose me, so I could go very light on my like coastal regions, for instance. But anyway, for now, I'm going to be keeping 2 boats per coastal region. I'm not going that light yet. Eventually, I will want to dial back to just having 1 boat per coastal region, but I'm not ready for that yet. We're still trying to figure things out. But making money, like once I can make money off of these ports, oh, it's going to be so nice. The fact that I'm already making almost 6 grand, oh yes, it feels good. Feels good. So I can start to open up a little bit here with my spending and to try to diversify a little bit, because for the last couple of episodes, I was going so all in on just trying to get my economy back into shape, so that now I feel like I can go a little bit heavier into military now and less so into economy. That doesn't mean neglect it. Don't neglect the economy. It's just that for now, I'm not going to be building economy buildings. My economy growth is going to be coming through the building of boats. I'm going to continue getting the boats in the water so that I can finish filling out these sea regions. And that'll be that. That's all I'm going to do for my economy for now. I'm not going to build any more farm upgrades or trading posts or anything like that. If there's a trading post that's available, sure, I will build it, but I'm not going to build the next tier of settlement building so that I can get the next tier of trading post quite yet. I'm going to be being a little bit cautious with that. And instead, I'm going to be focusing my building money, my budget, on military buildings and trying to catch up in that way. Because, as you know, I do want to eventually disband these mercenaries as soon as possible. It's going to be a while, but as soon as I can, I would like to disband these mercenary armies. And to do that, I need to have some proper native armies that are built up. So I think I'm going to focus on doing basically 2 separate building centers, one in the Levant and then one in Europe. The one in Europe is probably further along, I would say. I'm getting crossbows here in Ile-de-France, and I can get militia sergeants. But I can get billmen here in Mercia. Right now, I'm just getting the Catholic bishops because, again, this feels nice too, having some vision on the map. That's kind of cool. It's nice to see Poland doing well too. That's really interesting. It's something like I haven't played yet. Before this campaign, I had not played like a Western European faction. So in all of my experience in this game, it kind of started to get kind of samey, and just seeing France kind of take over and seeing like kind of the fallout from that. For instance, like if it wasn't France, then maybe it was Germany, or maybe France would like die and come back or something. Like it was just always France. Like France was just always so powerful. So to have this campaign and have it, well, be different and see Germany looking strong, and to see Italy looking actually like this is, yeah, like not seeing France like just not here to bully everyone is kind of nice. And yeah, we see Poland that's looking very strong right now. And because they get 1 point per province for their achievement, for their objectives, they're in 2nd place. I have to watch out for these guys. They're actually doing pretty well. So I'm not worried yet, because when the Mongols arrive, we will see how they hold up. They're as far east as Crimea. So my goodness, yeah. They're just 1 province away from the edge of the map. So the Poles will face down the Mongols, I would imagine, unless the Mongols just like hone right in on the human player and go like, nope, screw the Poles, we're going for England down here, hanging out in Odessa. So I'm building up a castle here in preparation for that. So we'll see, but yeah, it's nice to see Poland doing well. They even have boats in the water here and there. You see they have a boat down here. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to get this vision going. So I'm going to keep cranking out bishops where I can to get more vision on these places. I want to see the Mongols when they arrive. And yeah, it's also kind of fun to see the Byzantines kind of hang in there. I was happy to sort of be able to kind of save them in a sense. I might regret that if they ever start fighting a war against me. In fact, I saw this and I was like, maybe I should put a boat up here. Just so that this I don't want this Byzantine boat to think that they can, you know, as I was just saying, start a war against me. So fingers crossed on that. But as I was saying, yeah, I think I want to kind of go more military now. I need to kind of like angle in that direction. I'm working on getting longbows eventually here in Wales. I need this castle, and then I think I need, is it just one more archer building, I think, maybe? And what else am I doing? Brittany, I think, might be working on getting feudal knights at some point, maybe. That might be what I'm doing there. And you, I'm kind of thinking about getting the Spearmaker's Workshop. It's only 400 florins. And then after that, I can get the Spearmaker's Guild, and that will allow me to train the billmen. And just having another province where I can train billmen seems nice. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for now. And then down here in the Levant, I can get crossbows in Palestine and billmen in Tripoli. I can get Hoblars and Turkopoles in Antioch. And then Odessa, I'm thinking about getting Odessa because they already have the horse breeder. So this could be a place where, with a few more buildings, I could get feudal knights here. I can't get any royal knights anywhere, can I? No, I cannot. I wonder if, is that something that I want to do here in Tripoli? Well, we can get the catapult towers first. But it's going to be the, what building is it? Yeah, this. Okay, so I don't even have the tier 1 palace building yet. So I'd have to build this and then the tier 2 before I get royal knights. It's tempting just to do that here in Tripoli. Or I could do it in Antioch, either or. Well, now I feel a little bit silly because I just went through each of my forces here in the Levant and I divided and I separated out all of the mercenary forces from all of the native forces. And it's not as many as I thought. It's still enough to be substantial. You know, this is a, decent 3/4 stack here in Odessa, but here in Antioch, it's just these 4 units. Here in Tripoli, it's just these handful of units. And here in Palestine, it's just this half stack, essentially. So that makes me think that I actually could just disband my mercenaries. And I would probably be fine. And that would still be enough for me to like make a decent amount of money back on that upkeep that I would be saving. Now, even though I do feel silly for not realizing this earlier, I do say that this is probably the right time for this to happen. Just because, well, I mean, 2 episodes ago, I did fight a counterattack against the Egyptians in Antioch. And now the Egyptians are being eaten up by the Byzantines, who, even though they are taking back territory against Egypt, they're not strong enough to really be threatening me. You know, like the rebels here look like they might take back Anatolia from the Byzantines. And yeah, like they're not looking that scary, right? And down here, the Italian Crusade is going to be taking Egypt off of the Egyptians. So that's going to be leaving Egypt with this, and this. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be fine, even without this mercenaries. So I may as well just disband them and see what kind of money I'm making. And look at that, just like that, disbanding those mercenaries, I'm making an additional 3,000 per turn. Not bad, okay. And yeah, that does leave Palestine a little bit weakened. I disbanded a lot of cavalry from Palestine, so they don't have much cav left. So could we face a counterattack by the Egyptians? They have 3 provinces bordering Palestine? Yeah, maybe, but I think that they have bigger problems on their list of problems. But you know, we've seen them focusing on me before. You know, I would think that they would be thinking more about the Italians, but they might, you know, they might turn their attention towards me. We never know. How big is this crusade? 1,000 men? Okay. Well, now I can like look at these armies a bit more objectively and get a better sense of like how close I am to building out some armies that I actually want to be using down here. And I can start to consider, you know, do I want to retrain certain units or do I want to disband them? And maybe I can make this even a bit more cleaner. Now I've just spent quite a bit of time looking at my armies here and getting a better idea of what actually I have and where I am deficient and where I'm actually okay in. And this helps me moving forward making the decisions that I need to make when it comes to, you know, what sort of military buildings I should be building in these regions. So I'm okay on spears, just about. I have just enough units of spears in each of these armies. I could use to make more, and I can train feudal sergeants and chivalric sergeants here in Tripoli, so that's okay for now. I could use more billmen, because billmen's a unit that, when I have enough of them in my armies, I can use them to completely replace the militia sergeants, because they will make the militia sergeants redundant, just like how the militia sergeants essentially make the urban militia unit redundant. So I can also start disbanding those units, as you know, because I have enough militia sergeants. But yeah, once I have the billmen out, then I can disband the militia sergeants. But then there's certain units that don't sort of make the other unit redundant. Like having crossbows is nice, and I would like to start to train them eventually here in Palestine, but right now Palestine is the only place that can train boats or build boats in the Levant, so I really want to keep going with that. But eventually I will be getting crossbows in the Levant, but they don't completely replace archers. Archers have that arc of fire, they have that rate of fire, and I want to keep those in my army. Crossbows will just be a nice addition because of their armor piercing, so that'll be nice when I can get around to it, but right now is not quite the time. But I do think that I want to go full on in training billmen here in Tripoli, get that all queued up, and then having Turcopoles and Hoblars is interesting. For a moment there, I was thinking that Turcopoles could just straight up replace the Hoblars because they would serve the same function as light cav. I thought that Turcopoles' melee stats are kind of decent, and then I just looked them up online, and they're not. I mean, they're maybe okay for horse archers. I'm sure they're better than basic horse archers, but they're not better than Hoblars. Hoblars do have a better charge, a better attack and defense, and they are slower than the Turcopoles. So there's a good balance between those two units. They are both useful. They both have an application in my armies. Turcopoles as a fastest, horse archer unit, but then the Hoblars as a light cav that have a decent charge and can actually run stuff down and kill stuff. So I'm going to be having both of them in my armies, so I can continue to train those and get those going here as well in Edessa. The main thing that these armies are lacking, I'm okay in Palestine, Tripoli, and Antioch, like okay-ish, but I really need to start getting heavy cav in these armies. And as I mentioned before, that's the goal here in Edessa. That's what I'm working on here. So it's a ways off. I need to get that castle built up. I'm a few turns into building it. So we're getting, it's going to be a little while, but we'll work on that. Wow, I've actually been recording for almost an hour now, and even though most of that's not going to be in the episode itself, that's a long time. I've just been really fine-tuning things and really getting into the nitty-gritty details here and making sure that things are on point. I'm running 4 campaigns right now, and I feel like I need to sort of, make sure that I'm catching up and keeping up on things. This king is getting pretty old here, so his next in line is probably going to be taken over pretty soon here. So that's going to be Prince John. You're over here. And he's looking okay. Yeah, he's fine, I would say. And it's Prince John and Prince William that are the two sons, and the other 4 men are the brothers, which is good because when Prince John is anointed king, that means that there's going to be room for sons to be born. And he's already married. Yeah, he is married. Prince William is not. So I have my emissary who is looking for a wife for Prince William. And all of my generals are on the front lines. I think that the only one that's not leading an army is actually Prince Richard right here. Yeah. He's the unfortunate Geostar. He's a drinker. So just let him be a drinker and a fighter. And he is the youngest of the brothers, of the king's brothers, that is. So he's going to be, you know, underneath Lord Gifford here. So that's a fine place for him. He's a knight. He doesn't need to be leading any armies. All right, so I think that that's finally, let's just end this turn and let's move on here. Get a turn in, eh? And this is what I want to see. I do want to see the Byzantines taking over these rebel provinces that I'm bordering here in the Levant. Because if we can get the rebels off of our borders, then we can get an auto ceasefire with them eventually. And then I can go back to trading with them, which is what I want. So yeah, Byzantines, for that to happen, I need the Byzantines to take them out. Lesser Armenia is going to be tough. There's a lot of troops there. So that's going to have to wait for a little while longer, I suppose. And oh yeah, I forgot about the Spanish Crusade. Oh god, I can't believe they're still around. Scholar of the classics. The learning of Albertus Magnus, in particular his understanding of the ancient philosopher Aristotle and of Arabic thinkers, is truly a wonder of any age. His reasoning and books on Aristotle make him an ornament to the church and a force for rationality. Minus 10% zeal in Germany, but the Catholic Church gains converts. Interesting. And Prince John, so this is the next in line. Chivalrous, yeah, this is a good one. Chivalry and honor are meat and drink to this man. He is incapable of taking advantage of an enemy in a fair fight. +2 morale and -2 dread. So he's a good general. And Prince William, this is his younger brother. Greed, +1 acumen, -10 happiness. Lord Wolfstan, this is a governor here. Yeah, nothing. Nothing too important. Oh, here we go. I forgot about that. Homelands. So we did score 13 points off of the homelands. So you're 1225. And we can see next year if we get any new objectives. So the next counting period is going to be 1250? Yeah, 1250. Okay. I think I just saw the Italians attack Provence. Are the Italians attacking the Germans? They are. Oh my god. Oh, yes. Finally. Okay, so there's some back and forth here. Was this already happening? I don't think. I thought this was a brand new war. So yeah, the Italians are retreating from the Germans here in Venice. But then I saw the Germans retreat from the Italians in Provence. Wow, okay. And yeah, the Novgorods are dealing with Livonian unrest. Yeah, it's one of the most unstable regions in the entire campaign. And yep, catapult towers are finished here in Tripoli. And what's happening? So a crusade has been declared by the Germans, and it's oh right, because the Italians are excommunicated. Oh, that's hilarious. That's so cool. So there's a German crusade marching towards Milan. And the Almohads really want to make friends because they're down to 1 province. And sorry guys, can't do it. Prince John, Gentle Knight. This is the next in line. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, +3 morale, -3. Actually, no, it's not, because he's probably not going to be like a frontlines general once he's a king. And when you're an administrator or a governor, it's not so much morale that is important, it's dread, because that is going to be trickling down to all the other provinces. I don't know if I've explained this yet in this campaign, but there is an effect, even though each of the provinces are receiving the benefits of their governor's stats, their dread, their piety, their acumen, there is a percentage of that also coming from the king himself. So I can't remember what the exact number is. It's like I don't know, like a 15% trickle down on each province. So there is some effect there. I can't remember. That's something that I should look up again. But the king's dread and acumen and piety do matter because that is going to be having an effect on all the provinces. Lord Courtenay, so this is a governor and he's a builder, plus 10 happiness. That's wonderful. And also, with that in mind, I thought I noticed something. So Prince John has avarice. Yeah, so 3 acumen, okay, that's fine. But minus 40 happiness. So that's going to be interesting to see what that trickle down is on all the provinces once he becomes king. Also, I forgot to do this. The Spanish did reject my offer of a marriage alliance. So boohoo on them. That sucks. How is this Spanish crusade not like gone by now? 168 men. Okay, so let's get in there, but still. I need to get my emissary. Where are you? There's so many bishops. Okay, you're hiding back here somewhere. Yeah, I need to keep looking for princesses for Prince William. Just in case, you know, you never know. Well, I can't see any princesses that are not German or Spanish or Aragonese, so I may as well... Let's go back to Malta and see if the Sicilians have any princesses that they're willing to marry off. Now that the Germans are at war with the Italians, I'm wondering if I can get a ceasefire with them. So they have this crusade coming from Austria. Not large, but, you know, they got some men in it. Some Teutonic sergeants, some Teutonic knights, actually, some order foot soldiers. Yeah, that's probably worth it. Launching that crusade, and Milan is right there, so it's not too far off from achieving that objective. Last I checked, the German emperor is not... He didn't have great influence, but this is going to help out for sure if this succeeds. I can't find... There he is. Yeah, 3 influence. Okay, so he's bounced back a little bit. 40 years old, and that if that's a successful crusade, that's going to help out quite a bit. Yeah, the Italians, they got the numbers here in Toulouse and Provence. Guys, I'm not going to attack you. If you move a stack off of Toulouse to reinforce Milan, that is A-okay. Go ahead. It's fine. It's fine by me. Here we have an interesting offer from the Italians. They are looking for an alliance now, and in this case, there is no conflict of interest. They are no longer allied with the Aragonese. They've lost quite a few allies, in fact, since going to war with the Germans and being excommunicated, although it looks like they've lost their excommunication status, which is interesting. The German crusade is still on the table, so that's unfortunate for the Italians. So that would indicate that I don't think the Pope has died recently. So that would indicate that the Italian Doge has died recently, but I don't recall seeing that message either. So I'm not sure how they lost their excommunicated status. I kind of want to accept this. For one thing, I don't have any allies, so it would be kind of nice to have an ally. And to have a bit more assurance on the seas, I think, you know, with my boats and their boats sharing the same waters, that would be nice. And because it's a kind of a check on the Germans, you know, like they're right there, they're right next to me, and they're somewhat powerful. And although I don't really intend on attacking the Germans, maybe if I want to, for instance, relieve a siege of an Italian settlement or province that's right next door to me, that's an option. And that's a way that I can gain influence, of course, for one of my own kings. So, yeah, I think I want this. They're at war with the Egyptians and the papacy. See, that's the one that makes me nervous. They're at war with the papacy. Now, I don't intend on going on any more crusades because I don't think I have any more objectives for that in this campaign, unless something pops up later on in the campaign that I'm not aware of. Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me nervous. I don't want to get on the papacy's bad side, but I don't think that, you know, I'm going to get excommunicated just by, you know, allying with the Italians. In fact, wait a minute. How are they not excommunicated if they are at war with the papacy? I thought that was like an automatic thing. That's very confusing. Huh. I'm still going to accept. Hey, wonderful. And the King of Poland has accepted my proposal of a marriage. So now Prince William is married. That feels good. Lord Fitzneel. So this is a 5-star general, and he is a governor. So +1 loyalty, +10 happiness, and then a steward as well. And that's perfect. Yeah, +10 happiness and +10% to agricultural production. Yeah, that's very good. And Prince William, this is the one that just got married. +1 piety and +1 acumen. Okay. And then you are not a starred general, and then neither are you, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. By now I have been recording for over 2 hours, and I doubt that I even have enough footage to really put into, well, to make an entire complete episode, but that's okay, you know? I think that this episode is exactly what the doctor ordered. It's what I needed to kind of take my mind off of things and sort of relax. And just, as I said before, just kind of play city builder and get my empire back going here. Now, I'm at the end of this turn here, and I'm going to actually press save and then end this turn. Just watch me get attacked on the very end of this campaign, or end of this episode. That's usually how it works, right? But I just want to go into the next episode knowing that I'm at the beginning of a turn, if that makes any sense. And yeah, we'll see if I get attacked. That'd be just hilarious. The Germans come on in, or the Italians betray me. The Byzantines come on in. The Egyptians, anyone? No, nothing. Okay. All right, looks like we're okay. I can't believe that. I feel like that Spanish Crusade's been around for multiple episodes by now. And the Germans are going to retreat from Milan? No shit. Wow. They're getting pushed back? Wow. I thought they're okay. Looks like the papacy is attacking Venice alongside the Germans. Okay. Yeah. That's rough. I am not going to war with the papacy, guys. I am not doing that. Okay. The Polish have the highest technology. No shit. How about that? And I'm catching rebel assassins. Okay, that's interesting. Here in Palestine. And I'm also catching Polish assassins. That's also interesting because it just allowed me to marry one of their daughters. Oh, do we have ourselves a German Civil War? We do. Hot damn. Nice. Cool. Aquitaine has a spearmaker finished. I built this so that I could build a armory, and this is a prerequisite for that. Just so that I could get some armored troops finally. In the year 1229. Oh dear. And yeah, we have the Blessed Towers finished here in Antioch. And then the Byzantine Emperor's offering alliance. No shit. Again, that is tempting. They are allied with the Italians, so it kind of makes sense, right? And they are at war with the Egyptians. Again, that fits. I don't desire any of their territories. And it would be nice to have some assurance against their navies attacking our navies. And I don't view them as a threat when it comes to their objectives either, so... yeah, why not? Why not? Alright, Prince Edward, charismatic leader. That's good. Plus 30 happiness, plus 3 morale. Yeah, that's a good one. What's this? Plus 2 morale? So even if you're not a starred general, having plus 2 morale is pretty damn good. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, pretty quiet episode. And I'll take that too. That feels good. And we have ourselves a German Civil War. That kind of surprises me. I thought that... I mean, I guess their crusade did get defeated, didn't it? I thought that it would have a place to retreat to. But maybe the crusade had already happened and then they just lost the territory? How is his... Yeah, he's down to 1 influence. Wow, funny how that happens, eh? Alright, Italians. You guys don't need 3 sacks in Toulouse. I'm gonna... Come on, we're friends. Come on, guys. Like, take advantage of this and attack the Germans. They're gonna be losing a stack here in Burgundy. They've lost Champagne outright. And what else? They've lost Franconia outright as well. They've lost a stack here in Austria. Yeah, decent stack actually. The rebel army might win in Austria. And then Bohemia, they lost a stack or a little half stack. They have lost Brandenburg outright. And they have a crusade marker here in Friesland, so they're ready to go with another one. I wonder who their next target would be. The Italians, are they... No, they are not excommunicated. They are still Catholic. And they're at war with the papacy. That's so bizarre to me. I don't understand how anything works, I guess. And how's our income now that we're in the Ligurian Sea? Making over 9 grand. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. Well, I actually quite like the way that things are turning out so far. Yeah, this is a really productive episode, despite the fact that it was pretty low drama. It felt productive. I'm just a couple turns away before I have that Boyars Guild finished here in Wales, and then I can start training those longbowmen. I'm getting billmen going here in Mercia, and then also in the Levant. I'm training them as well here in Tripoli. And then I can start disbanding those militia sergeants as well. So yeah, things are looking okay here. Before I go, I just wanted to let you all know that I actually did finally start the channel memberships going on this channel. So if you guys want to support the channel, the first tier is open. I'm not offering any exclusive content yet. At some point, I do want to open up another tier and offer some exclusive content. But for now, I just got some badges and some emojis that I did make. So that's not really my thing, but I did it. And yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, that is one way that you can do it. If not, then you can at least subscribe, like, and share. That all helps immensely. Until next time, this has been Conasep playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.